So yesterday, MLB The Show 18 released a trailer. It was one of the GameStop Monday videos, and what they were discussing in that video was some Diamond Dynasty features. I made a video yesterday on one of the things that stood out to me in that video, so if you didn't check out that video, definitely check out that video if you haven't, because there was some new things discussed. There was two things probably that stood out to me the most, and like I said yesterday, I made a video on one of the things that stood out to me, and that was a good thing. That was one thing that I was just saying, this will be amazing. There was no downside to what I was talking about in the video yesterday, but it seems like this next thing I'll be discussing in this video, some people aren't a fan of. I didn't really know at first, and I'm still not really sure yet, but it seemed like there was a lot of comments, because I did look at comments from the actual page, the GameStop page, and the PlayStation page, and just videos that other people made. It seemed like there was some question marks regarding this issue. This next feature, the feature they were discussing was attributes will not stop at 99 this year. The example they gave was they showed the 99 overall Ken Griffey Jr., and I'm pretty sure he had well over 100 power against lefties and righties. So you look at that and you can only think, if Griffey was an absolute machine in 17, how much better will he be in 18? Because there was also a screen they showed too of Frank Thomas. It was only the rookie Frank Thomas, and he had well over 100 contact versus lefties. In my opinion, at least, I don't really think that, well, it would make a difference, obviously, if contact and vision was over 100, but really the only stat that I personally think would be, I wouldn't say a problem, but could kind of be overpowered a little bit, is the power, obviously, if that makes sense. Because when you think about it, this is what happened in MLB 17. This is what I was thinking too when I saw this. I was just thinking, in MLB 17, at the beginning, in late March, April, how overpowered was the hitting? Every single game, there would be many home runs hit. Not only would there be many home runs hit, they would be 600 feet. Legitimately, 600 feet. And they did have to tone down hitting. So, if the hitting, well, the hitting will be improved from this year, or from last year, I should say, because in 17 it was kind of a problem, so they are working on fixing hitting a lot this year. So I don't think it would be too much of a problem for hitting, at least, but we'll have to wait and see, obviously. But where it stands right now, I don't think it would be too much of a problem for hitting, at least. And they did say too that they would be kind of respecting the legends by giving players like Nolan Ryan, Babe Ruth, these amazing stats, well over 100 attributes and stuff. So I'm not sure. I don't think, at least from what I gathered from that video, I don't think that, I'm not sure if flashbacks, I was going to say live series players, you probably won't see any live series players have over 100 attributes for anything, but flashbacks, I'm not too sure. It would kind of depend on what stat it was too, because like I said, the power could be an issue, maybe. We'll have to wait, like I said, but speed too. Like, we didn't see if speed was going to be over 100. If speed was over 100, I mean, would that even be fair? I can't really see them making players with over 100 speed, because that would just be the craziest thing ever if you think about it. So yeah, I don't think that any live series players or even flashbacks might not have over 100 attributes for power and stuff, or just anything. It might just be legends. If it's just legends, that might not be too bad. But the fact that they did show, it was only the silver Frank Thomas. He was only an 80 overall, I believe. He had well over 100 contact versus lefties. So even legends who might not be diamonds could have over 100 attributes for many stats. But I don't think it would be too crazy for hitting. I think the main concern I had was pitching, because they did show an example too of Nolan Ryan having, now these attributes aren't final, because they do mention that a lot. This game is still a work in progress. All of these attributes, these overalls, are not final. So just because it says that Nolan Ryan has, 111 hits per 9, 125 Ks per 9, Doesn't mean that when the game actually releases, this version of Nolan Ryan will have those exact stats. And can you only imagine pitchers who had well over 100 hits per 9, Ks per 9? That's the thing with, like I was saying, with speed. Could you even give somebody over 100 velocity? The only concern I had was the hits per 9 and the Ks per 9. That, you know, it could be a little bit interesting because Nolan Ryan was already difficult to hit, but just the fact that they are giving players like that over 100 Ks per 9, hits per 9 will be very interesting, because if you're playing on Hall of Fame difficulty, how difficult would that be? And not only how difficult would that be to make contact, where would the ball even go if you did make solid contact? Because, like I was saying with the hitting might not be too much of a problem, because if they do tone down hitting a lot and just make it fixed, I guess, then even when you do put the ball in play, it's not going to leave the yard every single time like it did at the beginning of MLB 17. So just because a player might have crazy contact, crazy vision, even amazing power, doesn't necessarily mean the ball will go somewhere. The only problem I had with that, what do I think of the attributes that will be over 100? I don't really mind it. I guess we'll all have to wait and see, but it seemed like a lot of people weren't really a fan of that when they saw it, because a lot of the comments, everyone was saying, or not everyone, but some people were saying, you know, if Griffey's stats are like this, how do you even want to pitch to him? So yeah, I personally don't mind this feature. It could be cool because obviously if you're stepping up to the plate with cards that have amazing stats, then it will be amazing for you. Maybe not so much for your opponent, especially if he doesn't have the best pitcher on the mound. I think the main concern everybody had was how many legends, or just how many cards in general, will these attributes be on? Because obviously if they're on almost every legend who is above a 98 or something, so like every 99 overall card, the attributes will be well over 100 and you can buy them off the market, then most likely every single person in Diamond Dynasty will have those players on their team. But that was very interesting to me, at least. Those two things that I mentioned, the video I made yesterday and this video now, were the two things that stood out to me the most from that GameStop Monday video. I'm not sure if I made any bit of sense in this video. I'm not sure if any word that came out of my mouth made any sense. But the reason why I made this video was because it seemed like some people were very hesitant on saying whether or not they thought it was good or bad that some attributes will be over 100. We'll just have to wait and see, like I said, probably 50 million times in this video, because we have no idea. Apparently the hitting will be a lot better this year. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that the attributes being over 100 is good or bad for Diamond Dynasty? Do you think that the pitching will be overpowered if the hits per 9 and the Ks per 9 will be insane? It's not very long away. We don't have to wait much longer before this game releases, so we will be able to see all of these features. So that will be it for this video. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a thumbs up down below. If you are new to the channel, subscribe as well. I will see everybody in the next video.